Okay, and welcome back to our next session of Surveyors of the Digital World, the Solid State Glacier. Once again, the five of you and your five Digimon partners are members of the Digital World Surveyance Corp, a group tasked with exploring and surveying unknown regions of the digital world. You guys have been dispatched to a frozen area in the north known as the Solid State Glacier, with the instructions to explore, map, and make what contacts you can. After descending from your initial starting point on a mountaintop to some pretty high up plains, you journeyed across them, made a slight friendship with a local Digimon, just a small raptor-like Doraemon, that advised you to head north like it was going, to the Sanctuary. You also got in some fights along the way, Digimon known as Moosemon, which lashed out pretty wildly. And after journeying up the way, you made it to the Frostwind Sanctuary. Here you've met a lot of Digimon that you've been able to talk to and not have issues with and get a moment's peace. As you guys were all setting in here to rest for a bit, another Doraemon arrived, heading through to a doorway that one of the Digimon here opened for it. Zen followed after, just kind of pushing right past that Coronamon. Very rude. And wandered down into a dark area beneath the sanctuary to discover a whole bunch of Doraemon that are just hibernating down there, and one much larger Digimon that as Zen approached to try and scan with the Digivice, shifted and moved and stuck its head around to take a look at Zen in particular. So Zen, we're picking back up with this thing's face basically immediately right in front of yours. In the darkness of this underground, the only real light is coming from the LED lights of your mask and the screen on your Digivice. It's just slightly illuminating your face and the very front of its as it pushes it right up towards you.
Okay. Zen is trying to stay calm.
Mm-hmm.
Not making any quick movements. She has seen Jurassic Park. And just kind of slowly pulls her hand up with the Digivice, continuing to scan, and then puts the other hand up and splays her hand out and does a little waves high.
As this thing's its head is quite its head isn't larger than your body, but it's torso sized at least. And so it's not pointing the horn at you, it's got mostly its actual snout right up in your face, and its eyes behind it you can just barely see with the light you have. It shifts a little, and as its jaw opens slightly, a long tongue just kind of doles out and then kind of reaches up towards the mask you've got on.
Oh, no. Zen takes a step back. No, sorry, bad touch.
You take a step back and you immediately bump into one of the little Doraemon that's sleeping under here.
Oh, no.
And it just kind of shifts a little, and the shifting movement of it as it is kind of doesn't throw you off your feet, but you feel yourself slightly disbalanced as this thing's head pushes forward after you, and its long neck easily enables it to follow after you.
Zen is gonna reach out and very gently try to pat it on the nose. No.
All right, so you reach out and put a hand, and its
sorry.
fur is quite soft, which is kind of nice, but even as you're touching it, there's no amount of strength you can make that stops its head just sliding right past your hand and pushing closer, and its tongue again just kind of latches on to the how'd you describe your mask? Fox-like, I guess?
Yeah.
Kind of latches around the snout of your own mask, and there's a slight tug on it against your face.
Zen is not liking this at all.
How's your mask held on?
There's a a strap that goes around the back of the head.
Right.
Like one going down from the top of the head that meets up with one that's going around the back.
Yeah, well, you definitely feel a tug on the mask as this thing applies just the tiniest little bit of force that pulls it towards it.
Okay. Okay, no. She's trying to resist, but like doesn't want to make any like sudden movements, but like can't really stop it at all.
All right. Go ahead and give a feats of strength check.
Okay. Sorry, I just need to queue up my roll 3d6 copy paste. Feats of strength is body, correct?
Yep.
All right.
All right. One of the funny things about stat contests with Digimon is because they're using the spec stats, their stats are not high. I feel like that's something that needs to be rebalanced, but let's find out what happens here. Oof.
Yikes.
Nonetheless, as you attempt to pull back, your 14 in strength does not beat this thing's 19 as it pulls at this mask. Is it a demand at the mask? If it's pulling on the mask with any amount of strength, is it going to be pulled off of your head, or is it just going to pull your head with it?
I think it's gonna pull my head with it unless it like very specifically gets underneath and kind of flips it up.
No, it's grabbing this mask and it's pulling on it. As it does, the Doraemon that you bumped actually like shifts and stands up, and that actually pushes you over, and you kind of unbalanced, but it's still holding the mask, so it's got you for a moment just kind of loosely knocked off your feet, being held by this thing's tongue's grip on your mask.
Zen hates every single second of this.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not good. Yeah, she's like she reaches up and kind of like pats its lower jaw like, hey, come on, hey, please not this. I'm sorry, go back to sleep, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very much interested in this mask. It just kind of like, it actually like, as it lifts its head, it's able to actually start lifting you up. And I think this is the point. Would downwards gravity pull you out of the mask?
Yeah, I think so.
As it just lifts its head up, you feel gravity pull you down, and it just pulls that mask right off the top of your head.
Zen whispers the world's tiniest fuck.
That's fair. Some of the other Doraemon are making shifting noises now because one of them stood up and is moving around. This thing's it's not devouring the mask or anything, but it's got like its tongue holding on it. It's kind of waving its head back and forth, holding the mask in front of it. Little LEDs on it staring into its own eyes.
Yeah, Zen kind of just like, I think with it pulling up and the mask kind of popping off, with that, she kind of falls a little bit on her ass.
Mm-hmm.
That other Doraemon's like still behind her, right?
There's just a whole bunch of them all over the place. Like, you don't have a good count on it, but you'd guess, like, just from the little amount you saw with your light, easily, like, just all over this cavernous room beneath the sanctuary, maybe, like, at least 20, 30 of these little guys just laying down in hibernation.
Yeah. What's going through Zen's head right now is, one, does not want to fuck around with this guy, but two, she cannot go outside and ask for help at all. At this point. Yeah, Zen like kind of falls to the ground and like rolls backwards a little bit and is like kind of like tripping over all these little Doraemon. Yep. She's like both trying to get away, like so this Doru-Greymon doesn't like notice her or take more interest, but cannot leave without that mask.
Right.
But like has a moment of, she's having a freak out moment.
Well, while you're freaking out, we'll just briefly jump back up to the top. The Chronomon you pushed past quickly ran over to Anjumon to inform Anjumon of this, and Anjumon looks out of the group and is like, is it a habit when you're visiting new places to wander other people's homes without permission?
Oh dear. What?
You're missing one.
Chiyoko looks around, like doing like a head.
Oh,
Like you can visibly see Chiyoko like do, and then Zen. Oh,
we should really do more head counts.
We should.
Oh dear.
Anjumon gestures the Chronomon to step forward. It's like, whichever one of you takes command, go and bring them back up. And gestures towards the door.
That's a good question. Which one of us is in command?
It's a great question. How about you guys tell me
that? Clive is gonna jump down from
Clive is the leader.
Chiyoko's arms and will be like, maybe I should go if it's a Digimon thing.
Inumon's already walking towards the door.
And I'll come with you then. We're in charge, I suppose. All right.
Inumon's already going too.
Oh no, Inumon, no.
He doesn't think he's in charge, but Zen is that way.
Chiyoko does like a little bow, like, we'll be right back, just a moment.
Still over here, very quietly, like, oh god, oh no.
You're gonna go over here.
Systemon, who sees this going on, just kind of walks up and is like, I like seeing new places too, but, you know, be sneakier about it. Just tells this straight to Stella.
Thanks for the advice.
How we literally were like, chain of command? What chain of command? We don't know what we're doing.
The Chronomon opens the doorway. I don't know if Chiyoko and Clive go down first or Inumon makes it to the doorway first. Inumon doesn't strike me as moving too quick.
I feel like Clive would probably get there first based on where we were. I don't know if Chiyoko or Inumon would get there first. I feel like that could be a bit of a toss-up.
Yeah. It depends on how fast Inumon can move with his little stubby legs.
Let's look. Inumon has a movement speed of 6.
Which one is movement speed?
It just says
for
movement.
Humans.
Chiyoko also has a movement of 6.
Oh, do I? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, Clive's is 8.
Yeah, he gets there first, and then it's a toss-up between us two next. You're closer, though, I feel like, so...
Okay.
The order is Clive, Inumon, and then Chiyoko.
Okay, you guys head down, and then... Yep.
Yeah, Clive's gonna nod at the Chronomon and be like, excuse me. And immediately sort of, since he is a cat, his eyes, I think, would adjust really quick to the darkness. And is looking for the telltale sign of Zen's mask.
So,
on the other hand, Inumon's sniffing, because I actually gave him the tracker thing for sniffing.
Yeah, so Clive races down the stairs. Inumon's just plodding down them with Chiyoko behind, and the Chronomon follows after. Clive, you arrive at the end of the staircase. It opens in an arch into a much larger room that's immediately warm because there's just so much body heat in there. And you immediately pick up there's movement and shifting of bodies as a whole bunch of Doraemon-sized Digimon are roused and standing up. There's the faint glow of LEDs from Zen's mask that's kind of like pretty high up in the middle of the room that's slightly illuminating a very large face. And I don't know if you can pick up Zen without the mask amongst all the Doraemon that are shifting and standing.
I think that Clive, I just want you to picture Clive's standing on, his back legs. His head tilts a little bit as he processes what it means that Zen's mask is floating in the air. I don't know no one's ever seen Zen's face, so I think the humans definitely and the Digimon maybe can infer that Zen doesn't want anyone to see her face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know if. See, I'm stuck between whether Clive is curious enough to go looking for Zen specifically because he hasn't seen her face, or if he's respectful enough of humans to try to stop Chiyoko from coming in.
Well, answer me this. What does Clive like more, humans or learning about humans?
Oh, learning about humans.
There you go.
There we
All
go.
right. So I don't think he even really takes the time to think about it then. He just sort of starts looking around for Zen.
All right. With all the shifting Doraemon in here, and I don't think your vision is like pure dark vision. Like you can handle darkness, you can see better in darkness than most, but you're not like seeing
No,
picture
it's
perfect
not.
clarity.
Yeah, of course not.
So, give me just a basic. I guess a perception for Clive would be a bit check. So, 3d6 plus 2.
Yeah.
36 plus bit is 2.
Damn,
Jesus.
it's a really good roll.
Yeah, go Clive.
Wow,
Thank
go
you.
Clive.
Finally.
Yeah, looking around, interest filling your brain, you just immediately scan Doraemon, 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 human shape. And you just see Zen on her butt amongst the Doraemon that are starting to stand up and look around and make questioning noises to one another as to whether it's time to wake up.
It's like Duck Duck Goose, but
Doraemon, Doraemon, Doraemon,
Doru Doru
Doraemon,
Zen.
Doru Doru Zen.
Can Inumon just be like sniffing out where Zen is at the same time? Because I know he came down slightly behind, but
Yeah, as Clive takes this moment of processing and is like, Zen, Inumon coming in after. It's probably difficult for Inumon too, just because there's a lot of scent in the air. There's a lot of Digimon that have been in here, not only right now, but over a long time now. And Zen stands out amongst it because Inumon knows Zen, but it's still like getting one specific smell out of a whole mass of them.
yeah, but that's why you take Tracker. It's to find the
That's
right
true.
smell.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, Inumon comes down as like immediately also Zen.
You may not be able to see
Here's a
Zen.
question: has Inumon seen Zen's face before?
I don't know. Has Inumon
almost
seen
definitely.
Zen?
I would say no.
Fair enough.
Alright. And then
Uh,
Chioko's trailing down after Unimon.
Yeah, Shioko's with the Coronamon because Shioko cannot see in the dark at all. Inumon,
Yeah.
I don't even know if Inumon can see. Inumon's just following his nose.
Clive is gonna approach Zen. Knows that Chiyoko can't see. And is gonna try to whisper softly and be like, Zen, we can't be here.
Zen doesn't respond. But I think when she hears you, she like rolls backwards to try and get away from you.
Clive is gonna take a small step back and go, oh. I think Clive is gonna understand because it's kind of like a Gabumon and how it doesn't want to be seen without its pelt.
Oh yeah.
So Clive is gonna like his tail is sort of like lashing a little nervously now. And how far is Inumon from Clive?
I mean, depends how fat. Like, oh, whoops. Was I muted? I don't know.
You're good.
That depends. How fast was Clive going? If Clive's going full speed, then I guess at least a chunk behind. But
All right.
I don't know if you were running or not.
I get the
think
feeling
Clive.
Inumon just kept moving consistently. Like Inumon came down the stairs, smell of Zen, just kept moving towards Zen. No pause, no stopping.
Inumon's like in those racing games where you have the character that's slow but just continuously moves.
Hmm.
No
Yeah.
break. So probably coming up on Clive.
Clive is gonna sort of not get. I think what Clive is gonna do is turn his back towards Zen and start walking backwards, and is gonna be like, "I'll try to get it back. Stay put."
You hear a very tiny okay. I think Zen at this point has you know how little kids will, if they're wearing a long sleeve shirt or something, they'll take it off and put not take it off, but open up the neck and kind of turtle into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's trying to do that right now.
Rightio. Andy,
Alright.
Inamon?
Enamon is just gonna keep making the his job is to keep Zen safe, so he is going to just keep tromping towards Zen.
I think Inamon's made it to Zen by
Yeah.
this point.
And Edamon's just gonna kind of honestly, he hasn't even really paid attention to the Dorgrimmon at all. But when he sees the mask floating up there, he is going to shift between Zen and it. Because that's just that's his default move, is just anything that seems vaguely threatening, get between it and Zen. Sometimes you get trampled by a moose for doing that, but sometimes you don't.
Faint light now comes in from the entrance where you came through. As Shioko comes through, the Chronomon standing at the entrance is holding cupped in its hands a little amount of fire, which is giving just enough to see. And seeing all the Dorumon standing, was like, no, it's not wake up time now. Go back to rest. Go back to rest. Go back to rest. And it's trying to convince all the Dorumon that are standing up and shaking themselves off, and some are running their muzzles through their fur to no, it's back to sleep for now.
Chioko's I'm terribly, terribly sorry about the disturbance.
Clive
Alright, Shioko,
is.
Dad,
you've got just
Ken, are you
the
down there?
faintest light.
I see. She would probably see the mask floating in midair and be like, "That's not normal."
There's just enough light stretching in now that you can see a very large form is still resting on the ground, loafing like the Dorumon themselves did, but its neck is stretched up pretty high, and there's a draconic head which has its tongue wrapped around the mask, and it's just swinging the mask back and forth in the air.
Oh dear. Excuse me. Would you mind returning that? It's terribly important to a friend of mine.
All right.
Kyoko figures Zen's in here, probably hiding her face, so she's gonna try and
So
get.
does Shioko just walk up to it?
Yes, slowly, cautiously.
Give us a persuade check.
Persuade check. Okie dokie. And I'm going to activate my major aspect, Caged Bird, for a +4 to persuade.
There you go. Okay, you've used your major aspect.
Because this is important. So that's 3d6 plus. Wait, what? It's. Sorry, I've already forgotten how to do skill
Persuade is
checks.
charisma plus persuade, so it's 3d6 plus your charisma plus
Right.
persuade plus your bonus. So all up, that would be
That would be a 3d6 plus 11.
13,
Damn.
I think.
13.
Charisma 6, persuade 3,
Oh,
major
yeah,
aspect
4.
4.
Right, 13.
Yeah.
26.
All right, 26. Okay,
Bonus
so as you
equal
stand
roll.
and you look up at this big Digimon and you speak to it, it does hear you, and it tilts its head sideways, so its one eye now pointing right downwards is looking down on you. It kind of shifts its head around a bit, swings the mask around a bit more, then swings its head down and kind of just fits the mask over your head instead and pulls back.
It's just oh dear.
And
Thank you.
it boops the nose of the mask with enough force to knock you on your butt.
Oh. She's just falls backwards doof. She's just giggling because this is ridiculous.
Clive is cautious, but is trying to not grin because, gosh, his tamer's so cute, and this big Digimon is so big and so powerful.
After that, there's another shifting as this thing's legs push against the ground and it pushes itself up to its body. Its tail kind of lifts and trails through the air, and there's a slight tinkling sound because you'll see there's some lengths attached at the end of its tail. There's bells on the end of those as it waves its tail through the air, and there's a slight bell sound, and all the Doraemon around it kind of go still from it. The Doraemon's like, no, we can go back to sleep. We can sleep for longer. And it's just kind of staying in place, but now it's like, I guess, patting its paws on the ground, kind of shifting about and shakes its body around and its wings stretch out.
Oops.
Is that the world's tiniest oops from Zen?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Zen, I don't really know where you are, but I have your mask. It's on my face.
You get a text on your Digivice, leave it on the ground.
Okay, all right. I'll stick it. She'll take it off, and then she'll put it down on the ground, and then turn around, and then send a text, and then be like, "All right, I am facing away from you. You can grab it at any time. My hands are over my eyes."
Am I able to do that? Am I close enough? Can I just go and...
You can make it there.
Yeah, you hear some shuffling.
Clive, do you look or do you look away?
Oh, that's so tough.
The forbidden knowledge.
Forbidden knowledge. Oh man. Okay. I feel like I want to roll to see what Clive does because I don't know. I don't want Zen to hate his guts, but I also because you know what they say about curiosity in cats, right?
Yeah.
Roll a bit check just for, your self-control, and then you can tell me what it means to you based on the number you get.
The full line is curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. So as long as this
it was worth it.
Yeah.
As long as it was worth it.
So 3d6 plus 2. It's a little middle of the road.
I think that Clive is going to be like trying to look out of the corner of his eye, but when Zen moves closer, he's like, "Oh, what am I doing?" And then he closes his own eyes.
Fair enough.
But he may have, I don't know if he would have caught a glimpse or not. I don't know. So that's going to be up to you, Bridget.
Well, Bridget, if you just want to send anything at all to Maddie, you can. If you don't want to send anything at all to Maddie, you don't have to.
Sure.
I'm going to leave that with you so you don't have to say anything publicly.
Absolutely your call.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Coronamon at the entrance is still trying to come over now. It's like, "Oh, can you please just..." And it just kind of waves its hands a little at you, but when it waves its hands, it briefly exposes the flame, and it's much brighter all of a sudden, and there's suddenly more noise of the Digimon in here getting up. It's like, "Oh, no!" So he's beckoning for you guys to please go back the way you came.
Yeah, Chichioka's gonna wait for an all clear from Zen before she uncovers her face.
Yeah, I think as soon as the mask is on, you hear a very relieved sigh. And all right, okay.
We're all good then? Excellent.
Sure.
Let's go back upstairs because we are in trouble. Onwards! And she's gonna scoop Clive back up and start walking.
Okay, Clive is he's just gonna be content in Chioko's arms.
Good.
Nice.
All right.
And like a good boy, Inumon's just gonna follow behind Zen, like he should have been before she came down. But there were treats.
Could Inumon have stopped Zen from doing any of this, though?
No.
No,
Probably
but he at least would have been there.
Okay, so the four of you make your way back up the stairs. The Chronomon down there is still pleading with the Doremon and Dorogreymon to go back to sleep. You get the feeling it's not going too well as you come back up the top. As you walk out the entranceway out here, there is a large figure standing in the way of the Anjumon with its arms crossed looking down at you.
Hi.
I would appreciate knowing that you have not caused any trouble for this sanctuary after being invited in.
We've taken care of the issue, and such a disturbance won't happen again. I'm terribly sorry.
Looks over from Chiyoko to Zen specifically.
Zen doesn't say anything, but she inclines her head. Probably does like a little bit of a bow. And Anjumon has pretty good hearing, right? Probably. It's like a very, very, very quiet sorry.
Fair enough. Anjumon stands there for a moment more. Then there's just this sigh as he takes a step back and to the side, which allows you guys to walk by.
Thank you. We really do appreciate your kindness in allowing us to remain here. And Chiyoko does like a bow and then just like skitters over with Clive, like, and then let's go join the others.
All right. What are the others up to? Derek, Stella, Eleanor?
Stella is like, she's like just very like warily like watching like the entrance of the staircase the whole time until they come back. And then like when they do come back, she's like, what was that about?
I think Eleanor is gonna like slowly just waddle over. I say waddle because she's wearing so much snow gear over to Zen and be like, you gave us quite a scare, dear. Mustn't wander off like that. We could get very, very worried. You could have been in danger. Were you in
Bakuman
danger?
is like, oh, she's not a child.
Your mask is quite wet.
The little LED lights are making oohs.
Oh my god. Eleanor looks at her and goes, ooh?
Quick, Bakumon, explain memes to Grandma.
Bakuman memes?
Well-
no means.
Well, I don't know what an ooh is, but I'm glad you're safe.
You really think Bakuman knows what a meme is?
Absolutely not. But I do think Bakumon would say he knows what a meme is.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, it's he's struggling to find any words to like actually explain what it is, but it's like, it's all it's fine, it's all good.
You know, it's an ooh.
Don't hurt yourself, dear. All right. What's next? And she just waddles away.
Oh my god.
I love the like the Chiyoko, Eleanor, and Bakuman have no idea what memes are.
Yeah.
Good. Shiko, just to fill in, before all this went down, you and Clive had a pretty long conversation with Systemon. She was very interested in asking many questions, but she was happy to answer questions you guys had as well. So rather than act that out, basically, if you have any questions you think you might know the answer to, just ask me and I'll tell you if you do.
Okay. It's been a while. I can't remember what we'd already asked.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
It'll come up as you need it.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like we probably would have like asked about the sanctuary in particular.
We learned some geography.
Yeah, that's right. We learned geography.
Yeah, so the sanctuary itself is somewhere that Digimon within the Solid State Glacier can come to hibernate from the deep freezes, which are times when the glacier freezes over with howling storms and even more ice than normal for a undetermined amount of time. You weren't able to get a specific. You get the feeling it's not like an overnight thing, though. You get the feeling it's a while that everything locks down.
Like an ice age, but smaller.
It's been a while since the last one, and especially since the Digimon now are actually like the Dorumon have been coming here to rest and set up their own hibernation. So you get the feeling there's one in the nearish future, but no one's like panicking about it yet. So there's still some time before that.
Okay.
Man, this
Is
would be easier if they knew what time was.
Yeah.
just
Time
goes to
isn't
show that
easy for Digimon, yo.
just goes to show that, as we've already known, time truly is fake.
Yep. Human construct.
It really is.
Well,
Live
we
in the
just need-
moment.
We just need to put more Clockmon in every location in the digital world.
Do they even function?
Clockmon's a guy. He can control time.
But controlling is one thing, understanding it is another.
I put Clockman into the Google, not Clockmon.
I mean, Clockmon. I think Clockman is a.
I want to be
Mega
a
Man
clock man, he cried. Make me a clock man.
But the clock man kept on clocking.
Isn't Clockman from
It just
Powered Up?
sounds like a
Wait, there's,
Mega
like-
Man villain.
He is.
Wait,
He's
there's
from Powered
two
Up.
different designs
think.
for Clockmon, and one has a person and the other doesn't.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clockmon
Oh yeah.
has like a
So
little
Clock-
dude where the
Here's-
hammer
here's-
between the things would
Here's
be.
regular Clockmon, and then here's Clockmon Additional Man.
Actually,
I think the additional man one was designed
Yeah,
first. to be
Additional Man
honest.
is the original Clockmon.
Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, I thought you meant like a weirdly human looking man, not like a Digimon looking thing.
I mean,
Diagnosing the
Sorry.
traditional
he
man.
is just kind of a guy with a hood and his mouth sewn shut. Like,
Yeah. So would the original design be technically a centaur?
Stop it.
no, 'cause- no.
Let's
the-
get back to the game.
It has 4 arms and 2 legs. That's the opposite of a centaur.
Reverse centaur. It's like a reverse
No.
mermaid, but worse.
No. Let's Digimon.
Alright, what's Derek been up to?
Honestly, Derek has just been, since they're in a place that seems safe, he's just been relaxing well every once in a while, making sure that Galgamon's not, like, looking over at Galgamon to make sure that he's not overexcitedly, messing stuff up, because...
Yeah. I've been thinking about the rules on staying in Digivolve forms, and I've decided that after a combat ends, Digimon would return to their regular state in that. So I think Galgamon, with all the excitement going on, Galgamon's definitely stayed a while in that form. But with things being quiet here for as long as they have, I don't think Galgamon could hold on to this specific form and turn back to regular Galmon.
That's fine. That honestly, he's probably more comfortable like that because he's afraid he's gonna bump into like a candlestick.
So
and knock
Galgamon
over.
doesn't think to turn back, but just after a while of sitting down and being bored, they just do automatically.
Yeah. Honestly, he prefers that because now there's less chance of him like accidentally turning around and knocking over a candlestick with his tail.
Or tripping
It's just-
over a bench.
Yeah,
Or I
he's
guess-
he's just really anxious in here. He's like, I want to run around, but it's a church.
I guess it's more of a pew than a bench, but...
Yeah.
Stellamon is gonna like ask a quick question to the Systemon over here.
Yep.
That's cool. She's like, so is there something like important up there? Angemon seemed mad.
Well, Systemon kind of drags on the word in the way that's like, I know, but I don't know if I should tell you. Can you make an appeal to Systemon's curiosity or offer something yourself to get her to cough up what she knows?
Bribe the nun.
Let me see if there's anything I can do. I mean, Stella is not a very persuasive sort of person. So like her, probably not. She kind of glances at Bergamon, like, you got anything, dude?
He reaches into his hat and kind of pulls out a bag of snacks and shakes them.
She kind of takes the bag of snacks and offers one to the sister.
And here comes Inumon.
And here comes Galmon as well.
The
So
dog.
is everyone converted
The
to one
dogs
snack?
have arrived.
So I was like, oh, this wasn't in the plan.
Stella immediately surrounded.
Locked in on all sides.
Listen,
Um,
Bergamon shook the bag. Like, you don't do that. That's...
Clive's ears have turned towards Bergamot as well, but
God.
he has the self-restraint, but I think Chioko could probably tell that both of his ears are pointed towards the crinkly sound.
One of the Coronamon heard too, and isn't like walking right up to you, but it's kind of like hanging around in the peripheral,
Like,
making
hello?
slight, just like the eyes at the bag.
Stillman is very nervous now. It's just like everyone's like eyeing this like bag in her hand.
Systemon daintily takes the one offered and just tries it. It's like, that's nice.
Eleanor snaps a picture of Stella surrounded by dogs.
She quickly hands the bag back to Bergamon.
As you're going to hand it back, Systemon's like, oh, let me. And she reaches out for the bag.
Okay. Yeah, she's not going to argue with that. Just take it.
With the bag in hand, she just immediately starts picking out treats and flicking them at Galmon and Inamon. And she turns around and sends one at Coronamon too.
Yes.
Enamon just
Oh,
is like
sorry,
one
my
of
manners. Thank you.
Enamon's
Clive's
just like
tail
one of
is swishing now.
Enamon's just one of those like sharper images desk toys that you're supposed to throw balls into the mouth. Like,
God.
All right. Systemon,
It's hard
With
to
the
eat
bag
things
still in
daintily
hand.
when you have boxing gloves for hands.
with the bag still in hand, Systemon wanders back over to a pew and sits down, and with her other hand, she like gestures with a finger for Stella to come sit next to her.
Stella. Yeah, Stella will do that. She'll like. This is still like a very like socially awkward situation. So she picks up Bergamon and takes him with her to have this
Alright.
conversation.
So the two of you sit next to Systemon as she raises her hand so that a conspiratorial whisper to you. So like, okay, so you've been feeling the shakes, right?
Yeah. That's not a good way to start the conversation.
You know, the entire place is going. Have you seen the mountains in the distance starting to rumble?
Where are you going with this?
Okay, no, the point is there's something doing that, right?
I mean, that makes sense.
Okay, so here they're trying to prepare something to stop that. And that's what's going on downstairs.
Okay.
So they've got this powerful Digimon that they're trying to help get stronger. And once it does, they can send it out to fix the problem. In theory. And when she does in theory, she does the finger quotes, but one hand is like the other fingers of that hand that aren't doing the finger quotes motion is still wrapped around the bag of treats, and she's holding onto that still.
Okay, big scary Digimon. Okay, that's like all Stella needs to know.
All right, does Stella just get up to walk away?
Yeah, I think she will.
And Stella
Let's
gets
think
up,
about the-
Systemon just gives a wink and then opens up the bag of treats and pulls out another one for herself.
Stella hates this information.
Bergamon is while in your arms, kind of like pats your arm reassuringly.
Thanks, buddy. Oh, I hate this.
All right, the others around here who might have been keeping watch have seen Anjumon. The doorway that you guys went down, it was too small for Anjumon to head through, but Anjumon went through a larger doorway at the back of the sanctuary and has left the room for the moment. All right, so what's up, folks? What are you doing?
Chioka's probably like checking on Zen to make sure she's okay.
Zen immediately abandoned by her Digimon again.
Yeah, Chioka's like.
Zen is.
Shioko is the type who definitely has a handkerchief, so she'd try to like wipe down Zen's mask.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got a hanky and is like here.
I think actually,
Oh my god, I love her.
so good.
At the smaller icon, I thought maybe she had one in her hands, but
It's like a frilled shirt, but she definitely does have a hanky with her.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't see her little fangs in this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
Ugh.
I'm glad.
So Shioko's trying to help Zen out.
Zen is taking out her Digivice to see if she got any. She's had her freak out, and it helps to focus on work.
Mm-hmm.
So she takes her Digivice out to look, and is kind of like, while doing this, taking the handkerchief and trying to wipe down her mask a little, and like nods a thank you.
Chica's like,
All
no
right.
problem.
So what are you looking for on the Digivice specific?
For the name of the Digimon, it's if I was able to get anything from that big
you were
Digimon.
able. You got close enough to this Digimon to get a scan. So the data is labeled as Doru Greymon. It is a draconic Digimon, data type specifically. And what the basic scan reports is that there's a large amount of internal power going on within it. And that's a sign that it is close to a Digivolution.
Ah.
Ooh.
What? Sorry, my brain just short-circuited. Zen kind of just drops that in the Google Drive. But yeah, she kind of needs to take, like, now that she has the mask back, she is feeling fine, but that was not so hot for her. I was going to ask, actually, do I have to roll on that?
Oh yeah, let's check your torments.
Oh. Exciting.
Yeah, we probably should have picked up that major torment of yours a little earlier, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know when to ask about it, and
that was...
Sure.
I should have checked on those. Okay, let's do a major torment roll for that. So that is 3d6 plus your willpower minus 6 unmarked boxes.
I mean,
So 3d6 minus 2.
to be fair, Zen did go shirt cocoon, so like...
oof.
Oh, that's
Now,
not
just the
good.
thought of being unmasked has caught up with her.
Press F to pay respects.
Ooh.
Hmm.
And that is a torment failure. Not a significant failure, but enough that it sticks with you. Zen takes a moment to look at the Digivice. Oh, that's the data I got. Man, that thing really tore my mask off. Oh god, oh fuck, oh shit, oh god.
It's like, that thing took my mask off. Wait, that thing took my mask off, and people were there. Yeah, I think she fumbles with the Digivice for a second, and then is like, I need to sit down a moment, please.
Oh,
And then just lays in this coffin over here.
Cherish just like, oh dear.
It's not quite coffins in here. This isn't
I know,
a one-to-one match of it, but
I figured.
That's down on one of the pews.
Yeah.
All right. What's everyone else up to in here? It's mostly quiet. The Coronamon are continuing to just they stand by for the most part. If you look up once in a while, you'll see one of the ghostly Digimon that are in the rafters still floating around. But Anjumon is absent for the moment, and Systemon is just sitting on a bench, just slowly picking out treats from that bag she took and just eating them
Munch,
one
munch,
by one.
munch.
Eleanor's admiring architecture.
Yeah, I feel like Choco and Eleanor are probably just like, look at how pretty this place is. I feel like they've got some good opinions on fancy architecture.
Did I see a mansard roof coming in? So fancy!
I believe so.
Wow!
Akama's over here, like, just rolling his eyes.
Hey, Taurus, I just want to confirm one thing that I think you said in the past, but I want to make sure about it.
Yep.
Since part of the whole point is, like, to figure out what the area is like, do our, like, Digivices auto map thing?
Yep.
Okay.
As you walk along, it fills out the map around you.
Like
It's
an
very
Eggman
much
Odyssey
video
game.
game style map filling out.
Oh, thank God, because there's no way Eleanor could have done that. Well, you know what? She's a kindergarten teacher. She's good at arts and crafts.
No, it specifically scans the environment. You just need to move through and keep on moving around to fill out more and more of the map. So you can
I
take a
do
look
love
at
the
what
idea of Eleanor like hand drawing a map in like crayon and
So
I think
if you take out and
that
look at your Digivice, you can see a map on it and the path that's been filled out so far. But it doesn't have like, edges defined on it. You can just go further and fill out more. Right now, you've just got kind of a winding path that led you up to this place.
A winding path with a lot of fog of war, basically.
Yeah.
So Derek's gonna look at the map, like, did it actually make the big footstep, like, looking at the map, are the big footsteps we walked through obvious on it? Because I feel like you said we walked, like, there are the big footprints in the snow out there.
Yeah, it's scanning your current data, so yeah, you would have been able to see, like, it's not live updating it, it's as you passed by, so
Oh yeah, I
looking
mean,
at it
but
from
like,
above,
can
you
we
can
see,
like, the footsteps on the map if you zoom in enough to it.
Okay. I wasn't sure how big the footprints were, so I was like, do these look like
They're
basically
notable.
mini
Like,
lakes, or are they more
You guys
like...
could all stand in the footprint.
Can I tell what direction the footprints are heading now that I have, like, a map with a few of them on it?
From what you were seeing, they were heading southwards, which is basically the opposite of the way you came. So you guys came up from the south, these ones were going down towards the south.
Okay, so we definitely don't have to worry about that. Sweet. Derek is actually saying, like, half of this out loud while just flipping through his map thing, because... I don't know about you, but at least with me, and therefore Derek, because why not, thinks a lot better whilst just being able to talk to themselves about nothing. Okay.
Big mood.
So we got very little of a map, and there's going to be some kind of snowstorm or something later.
And your job is to get very much of a map.
So this is a good place to, like, know where it is, but we do have to map more.
Stella's probably kind of listening just because she's like fairly close.
Galmon's just like, yep. Like, he totally understands what's going on. He really doesn't.
I think Galmon just definitely wants to get out of here and get into some action.
Yeah, he just wants to run around and hit stuff, not stand awkwardly in a very fancy building that he's worried about breaking stuff.
Derek just, like, does, like, a big sign. It's like, okay, at least we know what the safe place is. He's gonna get up and start walking towards Galmon.
Oh, are we leaving? Oh, okay. Goodbye, everyone. It was so nice to meet you. Take care now. Stay warm.
Yes, thank you so much for extending your kindness and allowing us to stay here. We'll probably stop by again on the way back, if that's all right. Just in case.
All right. Anjuman hasn't returned yet, so Systemon just kind of leans out from the bench. She finishes off the snack she was going. It's like, all right, where are you heading next?
That's a good question. What's around here exactly?
If you keep going south from here, you can get to the Snowhearth Village, which is on the coast.
Oh, that
So-
sounds lovely!
It's a good place to go next, and it means if the deep frost comes in quick, you'll at least have somewhere else warm to stay.
You know what? Thank you. That sounds like a wonderful idea. A village would be knowing where the locals live would be an excellent addition to our map. So thank you so much.
All right, just head south from here till you get to the Sea of Stillness. Then if you keep going around the coast, you'll find it.
Thank you. Chioko's making a note of that. Just off we go.
Derek's gonna just like put, you know how in video games you can just put a pin anywhere in the map and hope that there's a path that leads to it. He's basically gonna do that, just like somewhere south in the blank space you can't see. It'll probably wind up being in the middle of the ocean or something, but it's more
a general
just
direction.
Yeah, it's a head this direction. If he nails it 100%, that's just like bonus points. But well, and Inumon, I guess, hears that we're leaving, so he's gonna start heading back over to Zen to make sure she's ready to go. He's got to be the good boy.
Having Inumon there kind of helps Zen calm down a little. But when she pets Inumon's big, lovable face, her hands are shaking a little bit.
God, how tone deaf is Inumon? I think he's extremely tone deaf. Yeah,
That's why
licks,
Zen loves him.
He goes to lick the face.
Zen shudders. Good boy.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, so you guys are all heading back out now?
I think so.
Yep.
All right.
We gotta
So
get
the
more
front door
map.
is still like quite large and closed, but whoever gets to there first, if you just knock on it, Kanjamon on the outside pushes it open for you guys to head out.
It's always so weird when they like completely rename a Digimon that's a color swap, and half the time they just don't.
Yeah. It could have been Ice Leomon, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Pangiamon.
Because like that's what they do with Agumon. There's just like a snow Agumon, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so
Digimon
put yourselves
is
in a
wild.
marching order and assemble outside. You're heading back into the cold. And boy, you feel it as soon as you go out those doors.
Oh boy.
There's not a
Oh,
storm
goodness.
raging or anything. Like, there's still a mostly clear sky, the barcode aurora in the distance, but wow, it's chill.
I think Clive, also Taurus, is Clive going to go back to a Salamon because he's been in champion for a while, but he's also
All right. I
small.
forget about that because Kanamon is always the default from adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably like as soon as you step back out into the cold, Clive shivers and is sort of like, oh, and turns back into
Concentration lost.
He's gonna nestle closer. He's gonna he doesn't often want to be picked up. It just sort of happens, but he is going to actually look at Chiyoko and ask to be picked up, and he's going to nest into her jacket because it is cold out.
Yeah.
Yep.
His little
She's got
puppy
him.
face. His little puppy face is poking out from behind her scarf, like right under her chin.
Yes, it's
Love
adorable.
that. Okay, put you guys in a marching order first, furthest to the left, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
I guess Derek will take the lead now because he's just
Eleanor is not fast.
He just wants to get the map done with, and I figure Galmon's gonna want to run ahead, so
Oh yes, absolutely.
Derek might as well be within range of his Digimon. So I guess we're out here now.
Yep.
All right.
As you're passing by, Punchmon just gives a gruff, be safe.
You too!
yeah.
That's very sweet.
Galmon gives like a little salute, like, yeah, thank you, we'll be fine. He's so awkward. I guess Chiyoko probably can go second unless Stella wants to.
Stella likes to stay close to the middle of the pack.
Okay.
So she'll let Chiyoko go on ahead.
Chiyoko and Clive will go second.
hands.
Is Bergamon walking with Stella or asking to be carried by Stella or?
I mean, she's happy to carry him.
Yeah, I think he wants to be. Bergamon wants to be carried. I'll put it that way.
Now, this doesn't actually impact much, but is Bergamon like warm like a microwave, kind of? Just like.
I want to say yes.
Oh, I
like-
love that.
He's got an
Very
internal
warm.
heat.
Bergamon
Warm
is
to
just
the touch.
Stella's backup heating pad. It's like one of those
Alright.
warm water
So
bottles.
Shilko's carrying Clive. If you want to move
Yep.
Clive up, Maddie. Who's following after, Eleanor or Zen?
I think Zen would actually take the back, just because.
It's still cooldown time.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Maddie, are you here at the moment?
Yep. I think that even though Eleanor is like obnoxious, because Eleanor, I think she does have genuine concern at how like quiet. Well, Zen is always quiet, but I think having spent so much time with so many different kinds of people, I think Eleanor can pick up that something's not quite right.
Yeah, so less quiet, more not animated at all.
Yeah.
Zen at least moves. normally.
Yeah. So Eleanor's gonna lean over to Bakuman real quiet and be like, "Keep an eye on Zen. I think something's wrong."
Fine. Inumon's got it covered.
The most
He
right
doesn't.
sentence anyone's ever said.
Okay. Well. All right then. I guess I'll just do it myself since you can't.
I didn't say that.
Well, if you implied it, dear.
Come on. All right, fine. I'll keep an eye on it. God,
Maybe be a little
jeez.
quieter too. I know that's not usually something that I would
Why
say,
don't
but
you be quieter?
oh, all right. I will then.
Fine.
You really love
Just
to
like
have
a
the last word,
petulant
don't you?
child.
You really love having the last word, don't you, dear? Just like my students.
He hates that. He's not gonna. He's just not gonna.
All right. Heading out from the Frostwind Sanctuary. Do you guys go back the way you came up initially, or are you looking for something else?
I think it would make sense to go somewhere new, but like I don't know if there's another safe route.
You're pretty high up in the mountains at the moment. You followed a very clearly dedicated path to get to the Frostwind Sanctuary. You're not sure if there's another path from here that would lead down as well, but since your goal is to go south, going back the way you came would be something you understand at least.
Okay, fair enough.
So it comes down to what you'd rather try and look for somewhere new or follow
I mean,
somewhere.
we had enough
you know.
trouble getting up here following the path. So
Yeah. All right, yeah, let's take that. I'm down for taking the path back the same way we came.
Yeah.
Alrighty-o.
And then we can just look to see if there's any point where the path could have split off, that we took this path instead. We can.
Okay. So immediately leaving the Frostwind Sanctuary at the end of the path, there's those very steep stairs cut into the stone of the mountains. But at the very least, going down those is a lot easier than going up them for the most of you. Andy, why would you post that?
Because that's a Magic the Gathering card.
Horrifying.
I hate it.
That's a
There
black
should
For
be a
anyone
Digimon
listening in,
that
there
looks
is
like
a
that.
horrifying gingerbread man.
I think there should be a gingerbread Digimon that's just gingerbread mon instead of gingerbread man.
with an extremely
Noted.
high speed stat.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm not sure I
So-
like the grandma in the window either.
There's
Are you-
Eleanor.
She's horrified that this terrifying gingerbread man ruined her pie.
She's like, oh no, he stepped in my pie.
Oh no, he stepped in my pie.
I'm not gonna.
God.
Oh, there's a joke I really want to make.
Don't do it.
I won't do it.
So, with these extremely steep stairs, it's at least for a lot of you probably easier going down them than it was going up. Eleanor, especially, I think. Like, you're taking this slow, but it's a lot less demanding going down the stairs and up.
Yeah, for sure.
So, there's not going to be really any rolls on this specifically. Andy, I think you mentioned Inumon specifically had better luck going upstairs than down them.
I would assume so, because he's log-shaped. Like,
Yeah.
That's also dogs in general too. They have a really hard
they
time.
can bound
going down.
upstairs, but dogs, yeah, usually just kind of like go down step at a time kind of thing.
Is Inumon in front of or behind Zan?
Let me think. I would think behind, because his, like I said, his general like default is to try, like, when he's not being easily distracted, is to try and be between Zin and something that's dangerous, and these people aren't dangerous, so behind is more dangerous.
Okay.
That's
tell
his
you what.
logic.
Give me a. Couldn't decide whether it be agility or body. I guess it's more body because you're trying to keep. Well, it could be either, but they're the same stat for you. So just give me a 3d6 plus 1, and if you beat a 10, Inumon won't slip.
Let's see if we get the whole party wipe again.
Oh,
Roll 3d6 plus.
If
I
it's
mean,
a 9, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
I'm going to say right now, beating a 10 should be easy, so let's see how it works. Hey!
Yeah!
Barely beat a 10.
All right. Inumon struggles a little, but successfully manages to follow the stairs without losing his balance and just sliding down them.
Woohoo!
Dog bogging.
Okay. That's essentially what it would have been. You guys make it down to the end of these stairs, and there's the land bridge again, which connects to another mountain just a little ways over. And then the path curves around that mountain down to a snowfield, and that snowfield leads down to the major plains that you traveled before.
God, this would be easier if fast traveling was real.
So, as you guys head over the snow bridge, you're able to look out and see into the distance again. If any of you want to make perception checks and see what you can see.
sure.
Eleanor's gonna stop to admire the beauty and also do a perception check.
Yeah, Chiako's gonna do perception. And that's
Perception is willpower.
Willpower
because
and
this needs to be rebalanced to something.
Yeah.
Or survival used specifically for seeing things. I don't know.
I think I mentioned that when I was looking at the rules. I was like, wait, intelligence and willpower say they do the other stats in the actual rules. For some reason.
okay. So that'll be 3d6 plus.
So we are, like, crossing the bridge right now, right? Like, when the perception check... Yeah, Derek's fine not looking over the edge of a death trap. That's fine.
Chiako's perception.
Damn.
All right. So, Chioko, you take a look around. As you look over, you look into the distance and you get a good view out. You can see the plains below there, and you still see like another big herd of those mammoth-like Digimon in the distance that are just trudging along through the snow. You look down back to where the footprints had been that you guys had traveled through before. There's a slight shift in the snow. Some of them have kind of like the snow's just shifted in and filled out some of those, so they're beginning to fade away in just the natural weather of this place. But you look down and you see that there is one or two that kind of look retread, as if something stepped in them and deepened them a second time over.
Okay. Chiako's like, oh, looks like something's been through here again.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So just mention that as you go, and
Yeah.
onwards you
She's
guys
like,
continue.
the footprints look like they've been stepped in again. She just kind of relays that information to the rest of the group.
And these footprints were going south, right? At least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So there's something big in the direction we decided to go in.
I'm sure it'll be all right.
Seems
Still
fine.
just kind of groans.
All right. So crossing over the land bridge, you come back to this mountain and begin spiraling around it. There's no real steps on this one, but it is just a path carved into the side of the mountain. So it's easy enough to walk and make it all the way back down to that plane again. Again, now that you know their footprints, you can kind of see the shape of them, but on ground level, looking, it's like, wow, you never would have got this staying on ground level. You never would have figured that all these weird, deep depressions in the ground were actually a set of footprints.
Wow.
That certainly is something.
The view from up here is incredible.
It's beautiful.
Heading further still, you come to the end of this snowfield, and then it's just the path down the mountain. This part's another steep part that isn't super well defined. When you watched the Doraemon climbing this before, it just jumped from rock to rock and kind of vertically scaled the mountainside. You guys have to work for a while, but because you came up this way, you have a general path in mind of the way to make it back down. And without any major skill checks, you've made your way back down to the plains below.
Finally,
These are
Inumon's
still
giant log body is helpful because he carved the path through the entire path they went through before.
These are still relatively high up plains, like above sea level. You've seen in the distance even land even further down, but they're stretched. It's a relatively flat stretch of land between many mountains rising up and ringing this. So you're confident enough in being able to travel south over here along fairly flat ground and fairly open as well. So you have a good view out. You can see Digimon wandering around in the distance and one or two that are flying pretty high overhead, not specifically down here, but you've got an amount of free space that you can just travel south along.
Okay, let's go south then.
Sounds good.
All right.
Let's go.
So now we're at the point where we aren't retreading old stuff now, or
Yeah, so you came up to this point, like somewhere along here is going to be where you fought the Moosemon before, but you can just keep on going past that and head south, and you're going to be splitting off from the way you came initially.
okay. Well, we need to do that to get the map. Actually, I guess yeah, that is one thing. I can just look at the map and see if we've hit the point where it stopped having updates.
Yep. All right, so as you go through, let's do some checks. What are good checks to do in this situation? Obviously, I'm going to be wanting you guys to do some perception just to check out what's going along. Tell you what, let me have one person doing a perception check, one person doing a survival check, and one person doing a stealth check.
All right, let's see. Who's best at each one of those stats?
I'm pretty good at surviving.
Or who specifically wants to do them.
Yeah,
I'm good at perception.
I'll do the survival thing. I say that's part of the
All right,
reason
so
that
Derek
that
taking
I was
the
going
lead,
first was because
choosing a path. Chiyoko in second, keeping an eye out for everything going on.
Mhm.
Who's covering basically, like, stealth is more keeping the group from making too much of a fuss, basically keeping everything in line so you don't draw any unwanted attention.
I
survival
guess
is
Stella can
intelligence,
do
right?
that.
Survival is intelligence, yes.
Intelligence, survival. Okay, here's our survival roll. Wow, that was a bad roll.
That is not the greatest roll.
Here's perception again.
Yep, okay.
Hmm.
Pretty good keeping an eye out for what's going on.
Chiyoko's got eyes for days.
And Stella's stealth?
Stealth, that's agility, right?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Stealth.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So
my
flat
punt
20.
helped.
So immediately as you're heading in, you note that it's much harder going. Like the snow is thick and the land underneath it's uneven, so you sink differently in each step as you go. It throws you off that you can be, up to an ankle at one point, and then suddenly you sink up to a knee at another step. You're going through a pretty deep level of snow that's not super compact, which means it's easy to slip and slide through it, which is slowing your progress down a lot. Chioko, keeping an eye out, you actually see some activity amongst Digimon in a distance. You see a couple of large wolf-like Digimon that are hassling similarly sized goat-like Digimon. And there's about 3 of the wolf ones and 1 of the goat ones, which are just in the distance over this way. And there seems to be a fight going on between them. But with the Stella keeping everyone in their lane, you haven't drawn any attention specifically.
Oh boy. Shoko is going to refer that information to the others, saying that there are some battling Digimon up ahead. We should be careful.
Ooh, I would love to help, but I don't know if it's any of our business.
Can we just go around them?
Something tells me we should find out what they're doing.
I prefer
Do we
to
have
go
to?
around.
No one is going to agree, and that's fine. Because Eleanor is wrong.
I don't think we have time, unfortunately. If that big freeze happens while we're out here, we're going to be extremely vulnerable. We should try and get to the town as soon as we can.
Oh, you're so right. Clever girl.
Secret raptor the whole time.
Secret raptor.
All right, so you guys are just pushing forward and maybe
Gonna
curving a little bit
yeah,
west to get some slight more distance.
try
Yeah.
and skirt our way around it.
All right. So you've continued on south for a while, making your way down south.
Walking
Walking
fast,
fast.
walking faster.
Yeah.
Making our way downtown.
How many of you have been
Oops.
just constantly looking back and seeing what's going on with the fight anyway, all the same?
Eleanor.
Yeah, I think Zen also peeks back once or twice too.
Okay.
Just being in the back.
Zen, how good's your general Digimon knowledge? You've been doing a lot of scans for what's this Digimon? How many Digimon do you think you know as a person?
As a human person, Bridget, or
Human person Zen.
Okay. I think she knows quite a few if she's been cataloging them as sort of obsessively as she has been.
Mm-hmm.
Probably doesn't care too much about specific details about all of them so much as filling a database.
Yeah. Okay. Keeping your eyes out and looking at what's jumping around, you note the large wolf ones. You know for a fact those are Garurumon. But you don't know what the goat one is. The goat one's similar-ish sized, and it keeps butting heads with the ones that are lunging at it, and there's a lot of fighting going on. But this specific goat one on its own is fighting off those 3 pretty consistently, but over time their pack tactics start getting the advantage of it and they start just dragging it down. It's a very wild nature sight, which maybe doesn't happen the most. You've been to a few places in the digital world by now, and usually Digimon will fight, but they'll fight for fighting's sake. But this out here feels a lot like wild nature, animals predating upon one another.
Okay.
It stands out a little.
Yeah, no, Zen is definitely taking notes about it. And kind of, actually, I think she sort of fixates on that, on what's happening back there, kind of trying to take her mind off of other shit.
Fair enough. As you are going along, it's chill, and the walk has been quiet for a lot of the time here. But as you're starting to the plains stretch on for a long ways, but you're fairly close to what you think is maybe not the end of them, but where they start sloping downwards. But it's around this point that there starts to be a bit more wind in the air. And it's pretty quick that the amount of wind starts pulling up snow. It's not quite a full-on snowstorm at the moment, but there's enough wind going on that there's snow being blown back and forth across the field, which is starting to mess with visibility and slow down and chill you all quite a bit.
We should find that village that Sister Mon told us about before we freeze over.
Yeah, so we should try and pick up the pace if we can at all.
Is everyone doing okay? I have some more hand warmers.
might
Hand
be-
warmers are not going to help.
Put them on your ears.
Yeah!
Not
Put them
going to
inside of
help.
your ear cozy. Chiyoko!
I'll take one to put inside of my jacket for Clive.
Oh, thank you. And Eleanor hands Chiyoko a hand warmer, and also hangs back and just sort of hands one without really even saying anything.
Chirka's gonna stick it in her jacket, so Clive stays nice and toasty.
All right. Feeling the pressure of needing to pick things up, Derek, can you do one more survival check to see if you can help everyone pick up the pace a bit, since you're taking the lead and choosing the path through this snowfield?
Okay, it can't be much worse than the other one, but I say that entirely knowing that it will be.
I believe in you. Yeah!
All right, a 19's better. Definitely compared to before, you guys do pick up your pace a bit, but it's still not as fast as you'd like to move. There's still a lot of the snow, especially with the wind now whipping it back and forth. It's changing in density and volume very quickly now, and so as you just stand there, the snow can suddenly shift from your ankles up to your knees, or drop from, in some places you might fall to your waist, and then the wind pushes with you and drags you along with it. It's very chilly aggressive.
Gamon's just waiting in this tall snow,
I'd like each of the players to make a endurance check. So that's body plus endurance.
Uh-oh.
Each of the human knows? Let's see.
Each of the humans.
Still is fine.
I said human
hopefully.
knows. Keep it. Let's see. So, endurance plus whatever.
Body, I think.
Yeah, endurance and body.
Let's see. Well, I got no endurance, so it's pure body.
That's a good, beautiful roll.
Uh-oh.
Let's find out how well Derek does. I'm rolling a lot of ones.
Oh.
We're all gonna die.
Chirka has no endurance and only 3 points in body. It's a
Wait.
drastic departure from Lucky, who was all about hitting things.
Wow,
Okay.
guys!
So that is an average of like
Stella's
14.
fine.
with-
Everyone else might be screwed, but Stella.
Stella,
gonna
you have to
believe this.
live to tell the tale of what happened to us.
So
You're not going to believe this.
I'm having Cal flashbacks of how he died horribly.
Don't say that.
Everyone besides Stella takes one wound box from the chill getting to them.
Oh, great.
Boy. I have 2 wound boxes.
Oh, no.
Chiyoko
So
is
does
very
Zen.
squishy. We are squishy.
Zen took a wound box
Guys.
earlier in this, and so Derek's at 4 of 5, Zen's at 2 of 4, Chiyoko's at 2 of 3, and Eleanor's at 3 of 4.
Oh, Chiyoko's the squishiest.
And for a moment, I thought 15 was too low a threshold, but no, you guys really did this for me.
Really beefed it this time, fellas.
I just want to say, like, in comparison, Stella has 10 wound boxes.
Oh
So-
my god.
Well, a bigger body and endurance gives you more health as well, so...
Yeah.
Now I want to see what
It's
Lucky
just really
is like, 'cause I
funny that,
remember
like,
him being-
everyone else, is so squishy in comparison.
I mean, I have decent. It's just, not
Yeah, you
that.
beefed the roll a little. 2 1s and a 6 doesn't balance out well.
Oh yeah, Lucky had 9 wound boxes.
Once I stop rolling ones, I'll be fine.
I bet.
6 body and 3 endurance. Yeah.
I'm just getting all my ones out of the way now.
All right, with the wind whipping around you, there's still no real snow is falling, which is something at least. It's not a full-on blizzard, but the wind is enough and the snow light enough along the ground that it is building up into a snowstorm that's starting to throw you guys off. But you do push forward. The chill is getting to you pretty bad, though. But pushing forward, you see that the plains are now sloping downwards. The mountains here kind of frame the slope. So there's a high mountain, not high, but a notable mountain or hill on either side. But the plains slope all the way down. And you can see with the snow the snow is mostly being thrown up above snow level. So with the slope going down, there's enough of a vision out over the top of it that you can see in the distance there is a very long stretching further than you can properly see here. Well, not further than you can see, but in the distance, there are mountains, but between where these plains reach down to flat ground and those mountains, there is a sea of ice. The ice is churned and split. It is not smooth. In the immediate to the south, there are mountains far beyond that, but if you turn and look to the east, you can see that the sea just stretches out and goes out to what might be open ocean, but it's all just frozen over. And you recall that when Systemon was giving you directions, she specifically called this area the Sea of Stillness.
Oh, we must be
That's
getting
the-
close.
Oh, I hope we make it there soon. The cold weather's not doing so good for Eleanor's old bones.
Because of the wind whipping up, the snow is obscuring a lot along ground level and to a few meters above ground level. So looking around the edges of the sea, you can't, especially with the fact the mountain on this side is still slightly rising up and blocking view, you can't see a village yet, but you're hopeful that this is the right direction to go.
All right, everyone, let's.
We really should have
Keep an
double checked
eye.
with her. She said when we get to
Yeah.
the sea, follow along the sea. I thought the direction would be obvious when we got here.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there's sea in both directions, so that's fun. Are there any kind of tracks leading in the area at all that we could maybe try and figure out where which direction it is?
You can make a survival check, but with a snowstorm the way it is, it's a very high DC.
I'd try and help you, but I have no survival, and also the aspect that I use gives me a survival penalty.
Yeah, I'll try it. Roll 3d6. Hey, there's no ones in that one.
There you go. So you don't really see any tracks. There's too much snow shifting around, but just with an instinct for maps and understanding locations and that, and the fact that you have a better view around the east way because the mountain hill on this side is a bit shorter, you get the feeling this isn't the direction. So if you were a betting man, you'd say head west.
Yeah, I guess they could use the mountain for like they could build a thing at the base of a mountain for blocking wind chill, but Yeah. Unless anyone else has a better idea.
I'm all for it. Ugh, we gotta get out of this cold. It's gonna be dangerous soon.
Let's go west.
Okay.
All right.
We do that.
Let me see. This is area B. I really should have labeled. Pretty sure.
And then we're accidentally in the swamp of death.
At least it'd be warm.
No, it's frozen too.
Oh no!
It's-
Frozen swamp of death.
Stop.
Have you guys ever walked in frozen swamp? It's not fun.
It's a snow-based
bad.
land.
It's
Sounds bad.
Okay, we've moved to the next segment of the map down as you guys continue on down the plains. The snow, you're curving around the mountain now, which is giving you at least some sort of bulwark against the wind, but the wind seems to curve around it a lot, so the snow still gets blasted against the side of the mountain. It's not as obscuring, but you're still getting pelted a fair amount. You haven't seen the village yet, but roll some perception checks, those who are keeping eyes out.
All right. I do have those. I have eyes.
But I thought your eyes were in. Let's see.
24.
Oh, damn.
Perception's willpower. That's wild.
Yeah.
There's definitely some house rules that could be applied to smooth this up. I just haven't made them yet.
I'm also going to be looking around so that, because, freezing to death is probably one of the least painful ways to die, but it's still a way to die.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is one of the least painful ways to die.
Well, if you-
I mean,
you
it
just
sounds
fall-
pretty painful.
Well, you just fall
It's like-
asleep beforehand. Like, being
Yeah.
partially frozen, then getting out of it, and then dying is extremely painful.
Frostbite.
So did you say you're rolling a perception?
Sure.
20 for you. Okay, both of you looking around are pretty quick to spot. Further around this mountain, there's a large opening and what looks like to be a cave that leads into it.
Oh, okay. This way. We can get inside, indoors, at least.
Oh, good. Oh, you kids and your sharp eyes. What would we do without you?
Does anyone know how to make a fire? Wait,
Oh,
Bergmon!
Bergermon
Okay,
did.
so you guys are just heading into this, and Shioko, with your high perception check, just at the entrance as you're starting to guide people in, you hear from further into the cave. It looks like it stretches away and is dark, so you can't see fully in it, but you do hear what sounds like a breathing.
Oh, I think there's something in here. Hello?
Stella already hates this.
Pardon me, can we borrow your cave? It's
There's-
terribly cold.
The sound of a slight shift further in and a quite large amount of slight movement, like the slightest movement of something that's quite large, and a deep voice just echoes out from it. If you require rest, you may take it.
Thank you so much.
thank you,
Alright.
mysterious loud voice.
Thank you. The winds are howling something terrible out there. We'll try not to disturb you too much.
You didn't get too
Sure.
much response, and you guys head into the cave. You can see that it goes deeper and it gets dark in pretty quick, so you can't see what's down in there, but you're very aware there is something potentially large way in the back of this cave.
Gamon is like vibrating, like, yeah, a big thing. But it's like-
Derek hates us for at least 2 reasons right now.
You gotta keep Gamon on a leash.
All right,
yeah.
so what are you guys all up to?
I feel like we're all gonna crowd around Bergmon and his fire.
Yeah, I think Bergmon's actually going to digivolve to his champion form where he's
Fair enough.
Oh yeah.
on fire. Kind of help out.
God bless.
There's no need to make a fire if he can just be fire. So
Just be one with the fire.
yeah.
They all
Oh,
crowd
bad
around
it
us.
does.
Infallible logic.
All right, so Bergamon just gets everyone to stand away for a bit, give him some space, and then just whoop, and lights on fire and grows in size.
Yes.
You guys are able to crowd around Pyro Bergamon.
Yeah. Shirk is just like, oh, thank goodness.
This Guy Fieri Pokemon.
That's a little better, right?
Yes, thank you so much.
Stella gives him a thumbs up.
Gives her a big thumbs up back.
Shirk is just like holding her hands like just above Pyro Bergamon, like, yes.
I love this Diners, Digimon, and Drives.
Yeah.
I genuinely can't wait for you all to see his old form.
I'm
It's
excited.
Really good.
I'm really excited for it. I'm excited
With
to see
the-
everyone's ultimates.
Flames of Pyro Bergamon lit, there's an amount of light that stretches further in. It's not so much so that you can... Well, if anyone's keeping a specific eye out into the cave, make a quick perception check for me.
Is anyone?
Fair enough. You guys are focused on the fire, it's fine.
Chiyoko might just
yeah.
see because she was the one that talked to the big, large.
Yeah, Stella is also very
Right now.
nervous about this giant thing that's in here.
So, perception of Chiyoko and Stella?
Yeah.
Oh god, what's
Derek is also nervous, but he's
this
more
is
nervous
not going to
about
be a
freezing to
good.
death.
This is not going to be a good roll.
Just roll
but-
3 6s.
I believe in you.
Mm.
That adds up to 6.
And there's
Alright.
higher
So-
powers combined.
You're both a little too slow to catch the movement, but you hear, just before looking, a slight scraping sound. And as you go to look, you can see just at the edge of this light, there's a slight... It's actually stone in here because the snow hasn't blown this far in, but you can see a slight scrape through the stone, a slight divot in it that cuts, well, an amount deep into the stone. And you just heard a scraping sound before that.
We're in danger. She was just like, oh, goodness, whatever that was, it's very large. She's just gonna focus back on the fire, like...
Stella is like soft screaming.
Stella hashtag internal screaming.
Yeah,
That's the constant Stella mood.
it is. Yeah, she's definitely going to be paying closer attention, or she's going to try at least.
All right. Looking onto the outside, you can see that the storm appears to be picking up. You don't know specifically how rough it's going to get, but it looks like if you're staying here to keep out of the storm, you're going to be here for a little while.
Well, everyone gather around Pyro Bergamon for as long as Pyro Bergamon can stay Pyro Bergamon.
I think Pyro Bergamon actually is gonna start cooking, making some boigas.
Oh yeah.
It's rest and fuel up time.
Don't forget the veggies.
What?
The veggies.
Is that what humans call more meat? Is that a special code?
No, it's vegetables.
I don't know what that is. Oh, you mean like green stuff?
Yes.
Like
Well, it's not-
okay. I mean, it's just like the, you know, you know what I mean.
Sure. You know what, dear? Forget I said anything.
Eleanor's burgers.
You do you.
Eleanor's burgers are gonna have extra relish on it. You know, the green stuff.
No, there's like, you know, tomatoes, lettuce, onions, but they're all green.
I think Pyro Bergamon knows mushroom.
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Portobello.
All right. So, cooking up and just keeping huddled around the warmth, you guys are able to get a meal and just settle in here and rest for a bit. Do you guys get up to anything, or do you just like keep to yourselves as best you can while the storm's going on?
Derek is just gonna like keep a hand loosely holding on to one of the like dangly headband bits from Galmon to make sure he doesn't go exploring to see what the big thing is.
Eleanor is like falling asleep and is like fighting to stay awake.
Stella is watching very carefully, like into the cave, just in case anything else terrible happens. She's really thinking about what Sister One said earlier about like something was causing the rumbling, and she's just quietly joining the dots in her head, and she hates the result.
Well, while you're thinking that and you guys are taking your time here, there is actually another slight quake through the ground. It's not going to bring down the tunnel or anything, but you definitely do feel a shake to the ground. And as you hear that, as you feel that, you actually like hear a slight sound from further in the tunnel as well. It's no specific words come to you, but the feeling of the sound you get is specifically an annoyed grumble.
Stella like just really wants to leave. She's just she wants to get out of here. The storm is better than being in this cave with that thing. But she's not gonna say that. So she's just gonna kind of like probably get up and pace around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just clearly very nervous.
So Derek was just kind of watching like Pyro Bergamon, but after the annoyed grumble, he's explicitly just gonna like turn around and just warm his back on Pyro Bergamon and just look in the direction of the cave. Like, well, deeper into the cave, I guess. We're in the cave,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. He is ready to nope out of here if something bad happens.
The storm has continued on. You guys have eaten, you guys have taken a rest for a while, but it's time to make a call on this. You get the feeling that like you've got equipment for staying out in the cold with you. You could, and you're not specifically in the snow at the moment, you could set up what bedding you guys have with you. You guys do actually would have had with you sleeping properly, like snow level sleeping bags. You could set up and camp in here if you wanted to rest properly, or if you don't feel comfortable in here, you could try and brave the storm and look for the village and see if you're close to it.
I think we should camp inside.
I think it would be
really
dangerous to go back out.
I don't want to stay.
Derek's just gonna like lean towards Joko. Joko,
Yes.
do you want to ask the thing if it knows where the village is?
We could, yeah. She's gonna turn towards the back of the cave and be like, sorry to bother you once more, but I was wondering if you had any idea where. What did she say the village's name was?
The Snowhearth Village.
If you knew where the Snowhearth Village was. We're trying to make our way there, but unfortunately we don't have the best of directions.
It takes a while for you to get a response. You actually start hearing like some slight shifting, not specifically standing in movement, but just, it'd be the equivalent of if you were taking a rest but not asleep and someone asked you something and it took you a while to put yourself together to be able to answer it. But eventually a deeper voice comes out. The village is further around Sea of Stillness. We were heading in the correct direction, but it is a ways travel still.
Thank you so much. I'm glad we're going in the right direction at least.
This is still a bad
Chuko's
idea,
not
but-
sure if they can see her, but she's gonna do like a little polite bow and then turn back to the group. Like, what do you think?
Clive is going to do the same thing, just like sort of nod his head in the same manner.
Dog bow.
Dog bow.
So, should we press on, or you said it was a ways, but
Well, it's not attacking us. This is Zen. It's not attacking us, and I don't think anything's gonna come in here to try to mess with it. So this might be a pretty safe place today.
I mean, if it eats us, we're dead. Like, it could eat us now. We definitely freeze if we go out there. I think we should set up camp.
that sounds smart. We can stay warmer in here. There's no snow on the ground yet inside the cave.
Yeah, don't like it, but I think it's the best plan.
All right.
Any objections? Okay, sleeping bags.
All right. You guys start setting up to camp. So I've got one final question for you all. You're inside the cave, which keeps you out of the snow as best you can, but the Solid State Glacier is still a deeply, deeply cold place. You understand implicitly that the further into this cave you moved, the further from the cold you'd be, the warmer you'd be and be able to sleep. Do you stay where you are right now, or do you try to push further in to get closer to that thing, but also further from the cold?
Clive is gonna nudge Chiyoko and be like, humans aren't supposed to sleep when it's really cold, right?
That's right.
If someone falls asleep by accident here, it could be really, really bad.
It could. I'm just worried about disturbing that whoever lives here more, but
Instead, we could rest if we needed to.
that's true. We could go a little further in.
What does everyone else think?
Derek is just sitting there trying to, like, it makes sense, but it feels like such a bad idea. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
survival says yes, but also no.
Eleanor is like, well, whatever's. Well, I suppose they could both be dangerous, but. What do you think, Bakuban? What do you think?
It's cold.
Well, that settles that, I think.
All right. I suppose we can always negotiate with the Digimon. We can't really negotiate with a snowstorm.
That's true.
The snowstorm will just yell at us.
Stella, what are your thoughts? And what about you, Zen? Inumon?
Stella just sighs, like, I don't really want to go further in.
Zen tightens her mask a little bit, and then just starts walking a little bit, walking towards the back of the cave. She's already had one incident with a sleeping Digimon, so what's the difference with two?
Yeah, that one went fine.
That went fine.
Famous last words.
And I think we all know what Inumon's response is look towards Zen, and when Zen starts moving, follow.
Eleanor pats Stella on the hand and goes, "Don't worry, dear. There's a lot of us. We'll be safe. We'll be safe. It's all going to be okay."
She kind of looks over at Pyro Bergamon, like hoping for a bit of support.
Support or sliders?
Well, I mean,
Those are
both
all
is
the same
good.
things.
Yeah, I think he holds up a fresh plate of Boigas. It's like maybe he likes relish.
She just sighs, like, ugh, okay, all right.
So you
Okay.
guys are going to walk in there?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Do you speak up or do you just walk?
Chioko is going to once again just be like, pardon us, we're just coming in a little further to get away from the wind.
All right.
And then we're going to camp out here for the night, but we'll be gone in the morning.
What is
You
morning here? What
You
is
know,
night?
when we wake up.
you say that and start walking further in, and it's as soon as you get just a little bit. Is Pyrobogamon staying as Pyrobogamon, or is it
I think for the added
once
more,
everyone's starting to conk out? I think Pyrobogamon would turn out, but they're doing their best to hold this as they can.
yeah.
So as Pyrobogamon specifically moves forward, the fire around them causes more light, and quickly, immediately, you see where you heard that scraping sound before, and where Chioko spotted the slight indent. There is a trio of deep claw-like gouges in the stone.
This is fine.
Chioko, when you spoke up before, like you spoke into the darkness and you didn't get a response at first, and then again, slightly disturbed in rest, some sort of non-aggressive or rejecting murmur in that deep voice, but not a specific word or response to it. It gives you the feeling that whatever this thing is, it's probably asleep.
Okay. That's fine. We'll just be really, really quiet.
Now, I just want to ask you one thing, Taurus.
Yep.
So we got, like, you know, sleeping bags and stuff, but do we have anything to actually, like, make a fire besides having Pyrobogamon sit there?
You tell me, you guys brought survival supplies for this environment. Like
Yeah,
anything that
Eleanor
would be
has a huge
reasonable to
supply
carry
bag.
with you. Like you guys all have packs. I want to go over this.
Yeah.
You guys all have stuff for surviving out here.
Okay.
Because, like, I could definitely understand us having brought, like, tinder and, like, stuff to light it, but actual, like, pieces of wood and stuff seem a little... That seems like that would just be carrying a lot of stuff.
You also specifically knew you had a Digimon with you that could just be on fire.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like you brought only light backups for that or no backups or stuff in equivalent to that.
Maybe we brought like a what am I thinking of?
Like, I could see bringing, like, one or two of those, like...
Like an oil powered like portable heater type of deal, like a little one.
Or, like,
Maybe.
one of those little, like, starter log kind of things that just burns
Oh yeah, the
for a
little
while.
packet logs. Yeah.
Eleanor puts a flashlight on the ground,
Thanks, Eleanor.
points it at the ceiling so the light, I don't know, it's not just pointed at one place.
So yeah, I'm gonna say at least a starter log. I'm just gonna hold it.
We have a
Derek's just gonna...
singular log.
Yeah, well, you know, was the plan to stay out here for multiple days? I think it was just a survey and come back. So
Yeah.
it just happened to be a snowstorm. So yeah, Derek's just
Sounds
gonna, like,
good.
pull out the starter log and, like, hold it out towards Pyrobogamon to... Because, you know,
Light it.
sure, we probably have something to light it, but wouldn't it be
This is
easier to
easier.
light it if we had the person on fire light it?
The cave you guys all entered was a pretty sizable one at the entrance, but as you start heading further in, it narrows quite a bit, and after a few steps, you're like, wow, this shrinks down really fast. You wouldn't think something so large sounding, at least, would fit back here. But as soon as the flame is lit and there's just a little more vision, you can see that you've actually stepped behind between what is on either side of the caves two very large clawed paws. And looking up with the little light you have, you can see that lying down and thoroughly asleep, breathing out slowly. This close now, you can feel the breath washing over you, but there is a very, very large feline Digimon here, much larger than even the Dorogreymon before. That Dorogreymon would come up to this thing's forearms at best, and this thing is just lying in here asleep.
Oh boy.
It's a big boy.
And that's where we'll bring this to a stop for now.
I want to touch it.
Please don't.
I want to
And
skin
that's
it.
today's session.
Yay.
Oh boy.
All right, guys, I'm running on nearly no sleep, so I'm gonna bounce right now.
I'm gonna hit stop
This was
recording.
really fun.